Good afternoon, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope everyone's good. Guys, it is literally 48 hours to the game against Arsenal on Sunday, guys. The Premier League starts tonight. Liverpool against Bournemouth tonight, of course, guys. And you know what? It is Sunday. Guys, it's the big one. Man United against Arsenal. That is the big one, of course. We're waiting for that one on Sunday. And it can't come soon enough, of course. All the talk, all this, all boils down to what happens on Sunday, doesn't it, at the end of the day? You know, at the end of the day, all it boils down to Sunday, you know? Guys, it all boils down to Sunday, guys. And we're waiting for that. We're waiting for that, of course. We're waiting for that game, of course, guys. Absolutely. But let's get into it. So sorry about the slow start. Let's get into it, guys. Really appreciate you coming in today, of course. Look, press conference has been going on, guys, already. The press conference has happened. Ruben Amorim's first press conference of the season, guys. Ruben Amorim's first, well, just dealing with a couple of technical issues there, sorry. But Ruben Amorim's first press conference of the season, guys. What did you make of the press conference, guys? Lots of things to say, lots of things in regards to Benjamin Sesko, Rasmus Højlund. There was talk about him as well. A few things going on in regards to that press conference that I want to talk about, of course. It does look like Benjamin Sesko could quite possibly start the game against Arsenal on Sunday, which would be fantastic to have Benjamin Sesko start the game, of course, guys. It would be absolutely brilliant, guys. But I want to get through some of the key quotes from the press conference, of course, guys. Let's get straight into this, of course, guys. So one of the quotes was, "I'm really happy with our players. They are working really well, and we have players in that position. So we are prepared to win any game with our players." Talking about the Manchester United midfield. Obviously, there's a lot of talk about Man United's midfield at the moment. Obviously, Man United need new players in that position. The Baleba situation going on, of course, which we're going to talk about in a bit. And look, Man United have a number of players in that position. They really do at the moment. Guys, maybe need to cut down on one or two, of course. Ruben Amorim said, "First of all, we have more than 3, Cunha and Mbeumo Sesko, so they are fighting for their places, but I'm really happy." So look, what I would say is this: you have more than 3, Ruben Amorim, in regards to that strike force, in regards to the attacking lineup. But what I would stress, that I want to see those 3 starting on Sunday. I want to see those 3 starting on Sunday. I don't want any false 9, Mason Mount business. I don't want any of that. Those players have had their chance. They failed. Now it's time to move on to the next players that are coming in. Of course, that's one thing I would say. He went on to say, "I really, in regards to Benjamin Sesko, I really like that, especially when it's a smart questions. He listens and he wants to perform. So that is very good. Of course, very professional is Benjamin Sesko. Heard a lot of good things about Benjamin Sesko over this last, obviously, few years, I would say." Ruben Amorim went on to speak about Bruno Fernandes. Even last season when he played as a midfielder, he was the player who had more shots near the box. So I think it's a good thing for Bruno to stay in one position during training. That is all well and good. Yeah, he had lots of shots, but a lot of those shots went way over the bar, didn't they, at the end of the day? So what I would say about Bruno Fernandes is simple. He's got to be disciplined in his position. If he's going to play that number 8 position, he needs to be disciplined in that position, of course, guys. And he can't be drifting out and leaving Ugarte or Mainu or Casemiro even on his own. He needs to be tactically disciplined, of course. Absolutely. In regards to progression in Manchester United, we cannot change everything in 4 weeks, but we are better. We are training harder and more prepared to cope with the demands of the game. I'm really more confident. I'm really more confident. That is clear. Step by step, we will be a better team. God blimey. I hope we will be a better team. I really do, because you know what? Last season was an absolute mess, an absolute disaster. I really do hope we're better next season. I believe we will be. It's hard to be worse, isn't it? At the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. Ruben Amorim on last season. I learned a lot last season. I don't need to focus on the future. That doesn't matter, and I don't care. I need to live day by day. Everything that is noise to our team, I take out of the picture. So I just prepare my team for Arsenal. Cancelling out the noise, concentrate on the game, absolutely. And the most important thing against Arsenal is to get that win, of course, guys. That is all we're looking for, guys, absolutely. Ruben Amorim again on Mason Mount. Maybe Mason Mount is a player who can play in a position in regards to the midfield if we want something different. But we have players to cope and win games in the Premier League. I don't know what that means. It's a little bit dismissive, if you ask me. A little bit dismissive, if you ask me. I don't know quite understand what that means. But yeah, it wasn't very complimentary towards him anyway. On Victor Gyökeres, of course, it is Victor Gyökeres against Benjamin Sesko at the weekend, potentially, of course. That is the question for Mikel Arteta. Victor is in a different league. Sporting have a good scouting because they live from the players they can buy and sell to survive. I think he's a good player. It's not a surprise to see him with a big club in England, guys. So very, very cliche sort of response there from Ruben Amorim. Of course, nothing incredible in regards to what he says. He's expected to say something like that, of course, as well. Again, I'm on Europe. We want to return to Europe. We don't even look, only Europe. We have to get in the Champions League. We have to be realistic with our fans. We will have to fight a lot because there are more teams with time together than us. We have to focus game by game. We want to win against Arsenal, and that is the most important thing. I agree. We have to focus against Arsenal, of course, guys. Very, very important game against Arsenal, of course. Going on to talk about Benjamin Sesko again. Physicality, he is ready. A big component in our league. Then he is really smart. Every detail he asks, he is always thinking, we will see if he starts, guys. That's the key quote there. That is the key quote. We will see if he starts. Come on, let's hopefully he starts on Sunday. We need it to happen, of course. In regards to Rasmus Amorim on Rasmus Højlund, he is one more option. We will see. He's still our player. Of course, lots of rumors coming out that Rasmus Højlund is going to leave Manchester United. Obviously, we have to wait and see what goes on there, guys. But that is basically the gist of Ruben Amorim's first press conference of the season, guys. The first press conference of the season. Yeah, look, very cliche, guys. Very cliche, very expected press conference from Ruben Amorim. Nothing in the way of transfers, which I would have asked, of course, guys. Nothing really in the way of that. But yeah, a very normal, positive press conference, of course. Nothing too special, but well, I would say that was a positive press conference in my humblest of opinion, guys. I really do. And I liked some of the things he said. I liked his positivity and I like the way he's been talking. Now, look, guys, let's get straight into it. I know you want to hear about the news about the Brighton manager talking about Baleba going to play for play for Brighton next season. He's very, very confident he's going to stay. Now, let me just get this clear, right? A year ago or so ago, a couple of years ago, Caicedo was going to go to various clubs around Europe, including Liverpool and Chelsea and stuff. He ended up at Chelsea. 2 weeks before that transfer, 10 days before that transfer, shall I say, there was an almost identical kind of quote that we're very confident that Caicedo is going to be playing for us next season. Now, this is a similar thing. When a manager comes out and is asked a question about Carlos Baleba, which is his player at the moment, what do you expect the manager to say? Just let me say this. What do you expect the manager to say here? What do you want him to say? That he's going to Man United. Nothing is solid at the moment. So he's their player. So he has to speak professionally in regards to their player. Now, this gets blown out of proportion and people should obviously wake up to the idea that, you know what, this is the kind of answers you're going to get when it comes to their player because he hasn't gone anywhere. He's still at Brighton. So if he's not going to go, well, you know what, he's going to Man United. Even when it's on the brink of him going to Man United, even if it's literally hours away from him going to Man United, you know what, they're not going to say anything which is going to deter the player from giving 100% for the football club. Because at the end of the day, it's a bit like when Ruben Amorim's asked about Onana, and then, you know what, he says, we like him, he's our goalkeeper, we want him to stay, blah, blah, blah. And he's only just saying that to keep him sweet. Because if he slanders Onana, we all know that Onana's morale is going to be down, confidence is going to be down. It's a bit like the transfers. It's a bit like the transfers. When you ask a manager of a rival team that we're trying to buy a player from, that is Baleba going to stay? Is Baleba going to go? More times than not, they're going to give you a cliche answer. I'm very confident he's going to stay. He's our player, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? And this is the kind of answers you would get. These cliche answers, cliche questions get cliche answers, of course, guys. Absolutely interesting. Of course, let me just say big up to everyone in the stream. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone is blessed today. Of course, guys, welcome to the stream. Big up, Grayo. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, brother. I hope you're well. I see Brighton manager saying he is confident that Baleba was staying there. Rashford having issues with Barcelona over the move. Look, at the end of the day, as I just said, Grayo, what do you expect? Clarify. What do you expect the manager to say? Do you want him to say, yeah, he's going to Man United, even though we haven't even agreed a fee? He's going to Man United and stuff. It's never going to happen, is it? That is a cliche because he's going to get a cliche answer. And that is what happens in football, of course. They're trained for those sort of answers. Alessandro, how you doing, my friend? Are we doing well? Hello, mate. It's getting that I don't think we get him. Where's the bid day? The day after they bid going in, it's getting too long now. That is what happens, mate, when you get to bids like this, and this is why the pace of this deal is going to be slow. I did say that it's a very complicated deal to do. I've said it right from the beginning. It probably drag on to the transfer window. Man United have not submitted a bid yet, although there is deemed to be a sort of gentleman's agreement. There's an agreement there. There's definitely an agreement with the player. The player wants to come to Manchester United. But in regards to the two clubs, we still have to negotiate a lot of things in regards to the two clubs. Now, there's a long way to go, and this still is going to be very difficult. Of course, when you're bidding, it doesn't just happen overnight. You can't just throw in £100 million bid. You have to get lawyers involved. You have to get the stipulations and the technicalities of the deal perfect before you send it off to the football club. Of course, looking after your own interest. This can take time. Man United will submit an official bid hopefully within this next 24 hours, and hopefully we get a result. It is deemed to be a record bid for Manchester United, which is going to be around 95 to 100 million pounds, of course, absolutely. Jamie has leaving the Brighton manager switched his story and said that he's staying. He's shot himself in the foot. Look, at the end of the day, read body language as well. Read his body language. Look at the way he's talking. Look at the way he's talking to the press. Just read his body language. You can tell from the way he's talking that he doesn't really believe what he's saying. He doesn't believe what he's saying, to be honest with you. And a manager's going to say that, trying to play down things, keep everyone sweet, of course, just in case he needs Baleba, of course. Absolutely. Jamie, we are getting him. The manager don't need to say anything. He could have kept quiet, but didn't manage. I think he got a little bit defensive, in my opinion, in regards to, I'm very, very confident that he's going to stay. But you have to read between the lines, because he didn't say 100%, did he? He didn't say 100% that Baleba is going to stay at Man United. He didn't say that, did he? He said, oh, I'm very, very confident. That doesn't mean 100%, does it, at the end of the day? Because he can't say 100% because he knows. Absolutely. You can lip read when people are lying. You'll realize the manager is lying through his arse. Yeah, look, smart people, Jamie, know this. They know that. When you're looking at people and you're reading body language, you can tell when a manager's just bluffing, or anyone else to that matter, is just bluffing and trying to keep people sweet. He's not going to go in that press conference and say, Baleba's going to Man United. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, nothing's been done officially. But yeah, he's going to Man United, literally 100%. Nothing's going to happen like that, isn't it? That would be very incompetent for the manager and things like that. But, what I would say is that every manager will be a cardboard cutout of every single other manager when they're asked a question like that. At the end of the day, you're going to get that type of answer. You have to ask these questions. Of course, Baleba's a big topic at the moment. But obviously, the managers are going to say, there's a few things. Man United manager will get asked about Baleba. He will say, well, you know what? He's Brighton's player. He's not our player. And I don't want to talk about players that are ours. That is a typical answer from Ruben Amorim. That is what is going to happen. It's going to happen every single season. You're going to get asked the same question and the same answer is going to come out. The cliche answer, which is, you know what? He's their player. He's not our player at the moment. We don't want to be talking about any other player. We want to talk about our player, to be honest. You know what I mean? Big up, Ahmed. How you doing, my friend? Baleba is looking off now. What are your thoughts? I've just spoke about it, Ahmed. I'm not going to read into too much what has been said today. Absolutely not. It's not off at the moment. Man United are preparing a bid. It's not off at the moment. They're preparing a bid. Don't listen to everything you read, of course. Absolutely, Jamie. It's not off. Just don't read everything you read, of course. Sesko is starting, so I hope so, mate. I mean, there was positive noises in regards to Ruben Amorim, in regards to Benjamin Sesko starting on Sunday. Benjamin Sesko versus Gyökeres, of course, guys. Absolutely. I said it a week ago. I want to see Benjamin Sesko versus Gyökeres, and we all know who's going to win that one. It will be Benjamin Sesko, of course. I believe it. I believe in him. I believe in Benjamin Sesko, of course. Jamie, his manager lied through his ass. Absolutely agree with that. Big up, Keith. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. If we sign Baleba, it would be a brilliant window. He is a ball winner and is a brilliant athlete. Box-to-box midfielder, something which we have missed for a few years. Absolutely. I would even argue, Keith, that basically, welcome, Keith, to the stream, by the way. I would argue that we haven't had a player like that since Roy Keane. I would have to argue, because when you think about the players that Man United have had, I'm talking about a young, up-and-coming player who can dominate midfield, take that ball from deep, bring that ball forward, power, pace, tackling, scoring, you name it. We haven't had a player like that since the days of Roy Keane, guys, and you have to admit that, isn't it, at the end of the day? Wesley, how you doing? Sal, I have this feeling that he isn't going to start Sesko. He will play Casemiro and Mount. You know what I would say to that, Wesley? If he plays Casemiro and Mount, I don't know where to start with that. I mean, everyone knows that I don't rate Mason Mount too much. Too slow, sluggish, very pedestrian in the game. He's the best at being ghost in the game. He's one of the best players at being a ghost. That is what he's very good at. And playing Mason Mount and playing Casemiro together will be just incredibly slow. I mean, I understand what you mean. If he doesn't play Benjamin Sesko, he might play that false number 9 rubbish. That doesn't work, as it proven in the preseason. It only works against certain teams. The only time I remember the false number 9 working for Man United was the game against Man City in the FA Cup final. That's the only time, in my opinion. If Sesko starts, Arsenal in for a long day. I agree. I hope he does start and he take him off, isn't it? So do you think we will buy Donnarumma? At the moment, it is very, very unlikely that Man United get Donnarumma. Of course, Manchester City are heavily linked with Donnarumma at the moment, as with other clubs. The problem is that we're having at the moment is that we're really concentrated on Baleba at the moment. We're 100% focused on Baleba. And we can't focus on 2 deals at once, unfortunately. This is the way Man United do things. We never can concentrate on 2 deals at once. And this is the problem, isn't it? And Man United need to start, thinking about doing 2 deals at once. Now, if Man United don't sign Baleba, I would like Man United to go out and get a goalkeeper. Of course, I would, because I don't personally believe that we'll have a contingency plan to go into that midfield. Well, what is our contingency plan? I can throw a number of midfielders off the cuff to you: Adam Wharton, Javi Guerra, Kamara from Monaco. I can name a few midfielders there that will fit the bill, maybe, that we're not being linked to at the moment. This is the thing, we need to be linked to these players, and I'm a bit concerned that if the Baleba deal doesn't go through, what is our contingency plan here? What are we doing next season in regards to that midfield, the polo midfield, the bagel midfield that we're going to talk about? Because obviously the midfield is not working, and we're not dominating games. Absolutely. Big up Grayo, hoping that Scumcho will be gone. Absolutely, brother. Just leaves Anthony Malacia and Garnacho. Fingers crossed they are all gone by the end of the week. I really hope so, mate. If they manage to get rid of those players, right, and they manage to bring in a Baleba, I think that would be a very good window, guys. That would be a very good window. No, it's not a 9. It's not a 9. Let me tell you why it's not a 9. It's not a 9 because we're late, number one. It's not a 9 because we haven't got a goalkeeper. It can't be a 9. It's not a 9 because, we haven't got a defender. And we got a couple of young defenders there. We got Leacher, who's always injured. Aidan Evans generally injured a lot as well these days. So it's not a 9. It's about an 8. It's about an 8 for me, an 8.5 at the maximum at the moment. And the right wing back as well, that is a big issue as well. And then when you're looking at the squad, Man United at the end of this window potentially could sign 4 players. Altogether, in total, 4 players. In my opinion, that's unacceptable given to where we were last season. 15th place. Man United needed to be doing 6 or 7 deals on the minimum, getting out, releasing all the problems at the football club that have been there, over the last number of years, of course. Man United needed to fix that, of course. Just reading that Kolo Muani is on the verge of signing for Juventus. That's another striker. We got a striker anyway. Of course, there was rumours about Kolo Muani during this transfer window. I never thought that we would sign Kolo Muani. Of course, big up, Grayo. Thank you so much for your support, my guy. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're feeling good. Please, everyone, smash the like and subscribe buttons and show your support to a brilliant chat. Thank you so much, Grayo. You're absolute legend, guys. Absolutely. Weather's pissing me off, man. Big up, mate. Big up. It's always hot where I am, mate. It's always hot. And United need to start well or it's going to be a tough day. Yeah, look, over the last couple of years, I would say that Man United have notoriously started games slow, and this is something that we need to fix. I don't know why we don't start games on the front foot. We generally, these days, unlike the past, we sit back and we allow teams to play. and they create chances. We give them confidence. Back in the day, I don't like to rumble on about in my day, but in my day, you know, we used to, when we start a game, in particular when we kicked off, it was just full throttle. If the opposition team are kicking off, we would get in that tackle early, make sure they realize who we are, make sure they know that we are here. You know, we are here, absolutely. Unfortunately, Baleba is off. Who's your source? Trust me, bruv, it's not off, mate. It's not off. Stephen, the manager is told to say nothing at all. Absolutely, Stephen. Or just say, yeah, he's our player and we're confident he's going to stay. Absolutely. Yeah, but look, guys, let's play this by ear. There's going to be a lot of people saying, it's off. It's going to be overreacting, believing everything you hear. We're not sheep in the stream. We don't believe everything we hear. What we do, we look at things objectively, and we look at things in a way that obviously the manager's going to say something like that, right? Obviously, the manager's going to say something like that. And what happens when the manager says something like that? You know, the rumors, the media, the vultures, they come calling, they come grabbing on that news and over-escalate that news into something. Now, let's just wait until the 1st of September. Look, it's not a guarantee. It might not happen. Football is like that. Football has a habit of slapping you in the face like a wet salmon. Football is like that sometimes. And you can't deal with absolutes in football. Anything could happen. But what I'm saying, no, it's not off. It's not off. You know, it's only just begun. Yeah, it's not just begun. But look, you know what I would say is that let us make the bid. Let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. It's definitely not off. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, Jamie. If he is not starting against Fulham, then he is gonna leave. There you go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yuchichi, how you doing? Will United sign Baleba? Mr. Sal, I'm going to put my head out there. I've always said yes. I'm a positive guy, though. I always say yes. I'm negative. So, you know what? I will say yes, that is going to happen, of course. Absolutely. Heard it before, Jamie. Absolutely, mate. Really have, of course. Stephen, they say that Brighton owner is a professional gambler, so you never know. He might pull United's pants down. Well, there you go. Well, at the end of the day, look, there's a lot of things going on about him. A lot of rumors going about it. It's not true. But you know what I would say is that money talks in football, doesn't it? Are Brighton going to risk losing 100 odd million on Carlos Baleba, guys? Are they going to risk losing him? He might have a poor season next season, guys. I know it's unlikely, but he might have a poor season next season. He might have a poor season, and then you know what? His valuation will just plummet to the depths of the sea, guys. You know, you never know. You never know, guys. You know, so what I would say is just let's see what happens, of course, guys. Let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks. We never know. It's no point beating the bush about it. It's no point beating yourself up about it. All we do is to say, okay, let's see, you know, what happens come 1st of May, of course, which is my brother's birthday. Kamali, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Let's smash Arsenal. Come on. Big up, Koke. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope you're good. Good to see you in the stream, my guy. Absolutely. Big up, Keith. How you doing? Big up, Keith. Big up yourself. Absolutely, I agree with you, mate. In regards to that midfield position, it's very important. It's so important. There's a couple of players that if Man United sign, I'll be very happy and I'll be very excited. One of which is Adam Wharton. The other one is Carlos Baleba. Those are two midfielders there that I think will fit like a glove at Man United. And I think Man United should try tooth and nail to get that midfield position fixed. Because then you look at it and you think, well, Man United are almost there. We got almost everything done. We need to get, you know, the goalkeeper, the right wing back, maybe another defender. Nitpicking in different parts of the pitch. Of course, the goalkeeper position is very important. Hopefully, we will get one anyway. Stanley Matthews, what's going on, my friend? I hope you're doing well. What manager says it's not important? They are embargoed. What's important is whether Baleba plays the first match for Brighton. That would give us a clue. It's true. It is very true. But I've been sat here, not here exactly, but I've been, you know what, 98, 99. Let me give you an example. 98, 99. I was sat here waiting for the Man United game, first game of the season. Aston Villa play Everton. Dwight Yorke is starting, you know, and then Dwight Yorke ended up signing for Man United, as we all know, became a legend at Man United. So you never know in football. I've seen so many different scenarios where this has happened. I remember the Wayne Rooney one, on, off. He's not going to sign. He's going to stay at Everton. Going to go to Liverpool. Going to go to Arsenal. All this business, you know, and then he ends up signing for Man United. And the rest is history, of course. Jamie, what if he's dropped tomorrow? The media will say it's because of injury. Absolutely. No one likes us. Baleba's off according to Ben Jacobs. I don't think it's off yet, guys. We have to play that by ear, of course. But let's wait and see. You never know what happens in football. Doesn't matter what the manager lies or not. What matters is what Tony Bloom says. Big up Hesty. Who the hell is Tony Bloom? Absolutely. I ain't stupid. There's more to this. Absolutely. Look, guys, what I would say is that sometimes you get disappointments in football. If he doesn't sign for Man United, I would just hope that there is a contingency plan. There's a contingency plan that Man United have got it prepared already. Now, I don't think for 1 minute that Man United will try and miss the chance on signing this player. I hope not, anyway. Stephen, we have all been there before. Deal off, deal on. It's games from both clubs until the players push for the move. Absolutely. It's a money-making tactic, of course. They want to make more money. The teams want to make more money. They want to put Man United into a corner. Oh, look at them. They're confident that Baleba will stay. We might not get him and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Big up, Bobby. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Jamie, problem with this fan base is all believe everything you read and then get confused. You have to take everything. Look, you don't absolutely ignore what's being said, but what you do, which is very important, is that you listen to opinions, let them go in your head and release them. Listen to the opinion and release it. Think about things logically. Think about things from a bird's eye view. Look down and say, but what about this? What about that? Why would the manager say this? And why would the manager say that? And you have to look at things. Look, I'm not saying that Baleba 100% is going to go to Man United. I'm hearing conflicting reports. Over here in the UAE, I've heard that Man United have had positive talks. I've heard that Man United have reached some kind of agreement in principle in regards to Baleba. I'm hearing different news. You see what I mean? I'm hearing different news. How true this is, I only report the news. This could be true. This could be false. But these are respectable people that have been speaking. There's no smoke without fire. When it comes to transfers and news, especially with regards to Man United, there's no smoke without fire, in my opinion. Stephen, it's been a 4 out of 10 window so far. If a goalkeeper and midfielders is give it a 7 out of 10. I have to agree with Stephen there. I ain't going to disagree with that. I think he's right. Absolutely. Creo, Masri or Leacher on Sunday thought Leacher was months away from playing. Xerxes fit, which is good news for us. Absolute brilliant news. Not match fit though, but fit, which is good. We need as many players as we can possibly muster at the moment. If we can get as many players together as possible, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Creo. Guys, there is no Licha Martinez. Licha Martinez is going to be ready in September. He's not going to be ready at the moment. Licha Martinez is a little way away from, I'm saying about the mid-September. Licha Martinez will be ready. Mazrou is disappointing, obviously. He's ready, but he's not match fit. He has not played football for weeks now, so months, of course. So that is obviously disappointing. The media put stories out there to mess with you or beware who you trust. They just write stuff to mess with you all. Absolutely. Big up, Charlie. Big up, Jamie, of course. Charlie. If we're going to get Lamens, we need to be moving for him now. That Inter are close to getting the play. Look, at the end of the day, Charlie, what I would say, my man, is that if we don't get Yenny Lamens, then I'm looking at him and I'm thinking I'm a little bit worried about that goalkeeper position. Because all what's left is obviously Emi Martinez, and you look at the goalkeeper market, there's not many goalkeepers out there that you would say, wow, he's our goalkeeper we need to get. There's a few out there, some random hipster goalkeepers that we've been linked with and stuff like that, but nothing in regards to solid links to goalkeepers. Only in regards to Donnarumma and Senny Lamens. If we're going to get Senny Lamens, you're absolutely spot on, are they? Man United have to act quickly. Man United have to act efficiently and get this player over the line because someone else is going to sign him. He is a generational player. He is a very good player. And someone else, if we don't sign him, someone else will sign him, of course. Grayo, only 16 likes. Come on, guys. Don't forget to push the likes up. We got 48 in the house, guys. We should have 48 likes, guys. Don't forget to smash the like. Thank you so much, my friends. Ineos and Glazers out. Absolutely. Big up. Stanley. Is Sancho trying to fleece the club before he leaves? I don't know what Sancho's doing. I wouldn't be surprised there, Stanley Matthews. But what I would say is that Sancho's taking his time. He's taking his time. Roma are waiting on an answer from Sancho. That's what Man United have accepted the £20 million offer for Jadon Sancho loan deal, of course. But Sancho is taking his sweet time. This guy is the epitome of petulance. This guy is the epitome of immaturity. this is Jadon Sancho at the end of the day. He's an absolute nightmare, isn't he? Guys, absolutely. Guys. More new info on Enzo Maresca. You mean Enzo Maresca? Who's Enzo, mate? Who's Enzo? Sorry. Enzo. Guys, I got mind freeze. I must have lost it. Good afternoon, Sal. If we do not sign him, we have to buy another midfielder and goalkeeper. I agree, Natty. Absolutely. Charlie, 4 out of 10 window, getting a Boomer, Cunha and Sesko. No, it's already a 7 out of 10. 8 with a Baleba, 9.5 with a keeper. No, Charlie, it's not. It's not, mate. I don't think it's 4 out of 10. It's about, if we only have 3 players, it's a 6 or 7. 6 or 7. If we end up with that. So you're right with a 7. Having Baleba will move it up to an 8. Having a goalkeeper move it up to nearly a 9, not quite a 9. And I tell you why. It's late. Let's not blow smoke up Ineos's arse, right? It's late. I know some like to do that, you know what I mean? Think they're going to, but Qatar would have got the business done by now. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. It's late. We're late. We've not got a goalkeeper, not got a right wing back, haven't got a replacement defender, have got a small squad as well. Lost Rashford, going to lose Anthony, going to lose Garnacho, going to lose Sancho. Shaw's never fit. Leach never fit. Aiden Heaven probably has an injury problem. You know, there's a lot of problems in that football team, and we've only signed 3 players. You know, if we sign 3 players, that's terrible, mate. I'm sorry. Tony Williams, the Brighton owner, Sal, he decides whether Baleba Sal or not. Money talks. I know, Hesty. I'm being sarcastic. Mate. Money talks, Money talks. Sesko, at the end of the day, who's Tony Bloom? Here's the money. And that's it. And at the end of the day. Hi, Sal. What is your take on Baleba? Yeah, just been talking about it, my friend. Been talking about it over this show. Yeah, let's wait and see. Guys. Absolutely. So it's amazing we did not change in the shifting players out. Another thing why it is a low window. At the end of the day, look, you got Liverpool who spent 400 million. What's their window? They bought Kirkis. They bought Frimpong. They bought Wirtz, you know, in their football team, and they're already champions. What's their window? You know, they might sign Isaac as well. It doesn't look likely they're going to sign Isaac. What's their window? You can't get, you know, it's you know. Proper mind games. That's all it is. Big up, Jamie. Don't worry about it, my friend. Don't stress yourself. Absolutely. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Good afternoon, everyone. F Sancho. Absolutely, Sanjay. Big up, Sanjay. Enzo Bayek is a player that we got from Le Havre. Sorry, Gray, I got a mind freeze there. Enzo Bayek is a player we got from Le Havre, and we've loaned him out to Lausanne, which is the Switzerland team. We bought him from Le Havre. We loaned him out to Lausanne, the Switzerland team. He's a striker, a young striker. Big potential, of course. Hopefully he comes good one day. But we've loaned him out to the Swiss club, which is owned by Ineos Lausanne. So he's a player that Man United have bought in. A very highly talented player, of course. I see things difficult to everyone in this chat. It's not me, anyway. It's like I live my life but ignoring the media sources, liars, and that all the shit. I just use my brain and read Stuart's situation. You know, I hope you're not talking about me, Jamie, because that's not me. Sal, do you think it is a spin to make the fans shift from them this Baleba news? It could be a number of things, absolutely, Natty. Don't be surprised if spin comes into it. You know, look, guys, we know with transfer windows, we know that Man United transfer windows in particular are a roller coaster ride, don't we? It's a roller coaster ride, guys, you know, as Red Hot Chili Peppers once said. A roller coaster ride. That is Man United's transfer window. And seldom this happens a lot with Manchester United, this kind of thing where the transfer's off, the transfer's on. How many times? I thought, according to the media reports, I thought that Brian Mbeumo was going to Tottenham Hotspur. Surely he's going to Tottenham Hotspur because Thomas Frank is going to Tottenham Hotspur. You know, so surely Brian Mbeumo would follow Thomas Frank to Tottenham Hotspur, right? You know? Miles, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Hello, Sal. Happy weekend, my friend. Good to see you again, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Baleba will be a United player, most people. Look, guys, I want to point you into direction anyway, guys, because there is a possibility about anything, and I like to look at things from different points of view. In the scenario that Baleba does not sign for Man United, right? In that scenario, Man United have already promised that they're going to sign him next summer. Now, this can mean 2 things. This could be 2 things. It could be a huge risk that we sign him next summer because he has a fantastic season next season. And you know what? Likes of Liverpool, Chelsea will have more money. And then the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona come calling as well. It could be a risk. or his price might reduce. We might say, phew, what an escape there. He had a poor season this season. What an escape. It could be two things. So what Man United need to do, they need to delete the noise and just put the money where their mouth is. There's been a lot of talk, a lot of media hype and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Absolutely, Jamie. I get you. I know, mate. I know. No problem. Yeah, no. It's fine. It's fine, Jamie. I get you, brother. I get you, mate. I get you. I understand you. I know you, Jamie. I know you from days. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I believe in you. Much love, brother. Look, Jamie, but what I would say about Jamie here, Jamie's making some very good points here. He's talking about not believing the media. Don't take the media for gospel, because we heard a lot. Like I just said, the Mbeumo situation, you know, what happened, he's going to Tottenham and Mbeumo's going to Tottenham. The Sesko situation, he's not going anywhere. I had people in this stream telling me, you're not signing Sesko. You're not signing Sesko. What happened a few days before? He's going to Newcastle. He's definitely going to Newcastle. He's got an agreement with Newcastle. Blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense, you know what I mean? And it's important for us to separate the ball from the reality here. Now, the reality for me is like, yes, Man United are interested in Baleba. Yes, Man United are going to make a bid imminently for Carlos Baleba. Yes, it's going to be Man United's record bid. Hopefully, that gets accepted. If that doesn't get accepted, it looks like Man United may look elsewhere, because Man United are not going to go astronomically high. What's a fact here? Carlos Baleba has agreed to go to Man United, wants to go to Man United, has asked Brighton to reduce the price tag of him so that he can force through a move to Man United. Now, as I've always said, when a player wants to leave a football club, a lot of the time, more times than not, the player gets his wish, because it doesn't make business sense to keep a player that doesn't want to stay at the football club. And when a player doesn't want to stay at the football club, more times than not, again, they don't perform. They don't perform. They start having scrappy performances, bad performances, because their mind is elsewhere and they're not happy entirely, right? So that means what happens when they have bad performances? It basically means that their price gets reduced. The price reduces because people look at Baleba and say, oh, was Baleba a one season wonder? Was he a one season wonder? Was that an accident last season? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, absolutely. But yeah, look, we're not believing the media on here. I've had some great journalists on this channel. The likes of Ben Jacobs have been on this channel twice. The likes of Jamie Jackson, James Robson, all these people have been on this channel. We've spoken about transfers. And you know what? Even with the journalists and the top journalists, guys, it's not, they're not clear. They're not in clarity. They're not got the insider completely. Things change in football, and you know what? They not all right. Big up, Millie. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. The right bid will come get Baleba. We need to bid. Funds will ask for 90 plus 25 million in add-ons, something like that. Millie. Big up, Millie, by the way. I hope you're doing well. Really good to see you. Hopefully, it will be around that bid, of course, guys. Sal, what change we want from this team, guys? Now, guys, yesterday I did give you my predicted lineups, of course, guys. When you look at my predicted lineup for the game on thingy, I did say that it will be Ugarte and it will be Bruno in midfield, right? I think that should be the midfield. What change you want from this team? I think the change I want is the midfield position. The change I want is the goalkeeper position. There's a number of positions there that I want changed, but the change I want is the right wing back position. There's a few there, to be honest with you. I can't pinpoint one thing that I want changed completely at this club, because I want a number of things, of course. It's not just one thing, not boiled down to one thing, of course. But guys, what I would say is that just keep calm, don't stress. We'll see what happens, of course, guys. The most important thing is Sunday's game against Arsenal, guys. That is the most important thing right now. Right now, the way we're looking at things, Arsenal is the most important game of the season, guys. And that is what we need to look at. Nothing more, nothing less. Arsenal game, first game of the season. And beating Arsenal will be the key to beating Fulham and beating Burnley. And then by the time you know it, 3 games are gone. We won 3 in a row. Confidence will be sky high. We get Baleba through the door and we're on planet. We're on a different planet. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. So let's just concentrate on what happens. Hopefully, I've heard Ruben Amorim's press conference. Again, I do find these press conferences a little bit tedious, guys. I don't know about you, but I find these press conferences a little bit tedious. I find them like very cliche, very predictable, and I can read them like a book. They're not honest answers. And when you do come out with an honest answer, for example, when Ruben Amorim said this is the worst Man United team in history, we all know he meant that, but he backtracked on it. And then, you know what, those sort of things are what make it exciting about press conferences. But when you take away the excitement from the press conferences, you know what, it gets a little bit boring and it gets a little bit tedious. Do you know what I mean? And it's just a lot of hot air, of course. Absolutely. Half the media work for Rupert Murdoch and Sky, and that prick hates us. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Absolutely, Millie. Absolutely, Jamie. Millie, Sal, what's your prediction for Sunday's game? 3-1 United is my prediction for Sunday's game. I think Man United will win the game. I think it'll be a tight game in the opening stage, and I think Man United will nick it in regards to being 2-1 up. Arsenal will attack and Man United will go and counter-attack. I do think Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko will play a huge role on Sunday, guys. I really do hope so. And guys, I've got a feeling that Benjamin Sesko is going to score a goal, guys. As long as we don't see this peekaboo crap, I hope we don't see that. That is one thing I don't want to see, of course. Win or lose, I think Baleba happens regardless. Big up, Jamie. Natty, Sal, I think Højlund is gone. I think so as well. I do believe he's going to go to AC Milan. Of course, his playing time will be very limited this season. We know, obviously, with the World Cup coming this season, at the end of this season, the World Cup is coming. So, obviously, Rasmus Højlund will want to play in the World Cup, of course. So, we'll have to wait and see. You know, after the presser, Amorim was on the phone to the board saying, get it done. Come on, mate. Absolutely. Sal, Amorim is accepting the situation, what he can do. And this is the biggest worry for me, Natty, that he becomes accepting and he just agrees what other managers have done. Just, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. I don't want him to be like that. Next season is a big season. I don't want to be hearing any excuses next season in regards to that. You know what I mean? I want to see improvements next season. But one thing I won't do, I will not put Ruben Amorim on the chopping board. I will not, because at the end of the day, if we finish this window with 3 signings, I'm not going to blame Ruben Amorim. I'm not going to blame Ruben Amorim because I'm going to say, well, we got 3 signings. What do you expect him to do with just 3 signings? We came 15th last season. What do you expect him to do? I'm not going to blame him, to be honest with you. I'm not. I'm telling you as it is, because we needed 6 or 7. I mean, we are. You know what I mean? We're 3. You know what I mean? And goodness me, it's madness. In regards to Ornstein, he has been speaking. Ornstein, he did say that the same thing. Of course, they don't believe the Sal is going to go ahead. Of course, not for certain level fee considered the level fee. Okay, this is what Ornstein is saying, guys. It's breaking news, guys. It's breaking news in regards to Ornstein. He has said Man United not planning to proceed with Carlos Baleba move this summer. Indirect plus direct contact between the clubs, but Brighton clear, not for Sal. And level of fee is considered deal too high. 21-year-old midfielder keen on MUC, but not unhappy at Brighton and Hove Albion. Absolutely. And there you go, guys. He might not come to Man United. There you go. So I am mad when they ask about your carers in the press conference. Yeah, why are they asking about him? Why are they asking about him? But guys, I'm just going to say this, right? I'm going to say this very clearly. Guys, in regards to Carlos Baleba, in regards to Man United and stuff like that, this is precisely why Man United needed a full Sal. This is why they needed a full Sal. This is why, exactly why, of course, guys. This is why they needed a full Sal. This is where we are at the end of the day, guys. But that is coming from Ornstein, guys, at the end of the day. Let's just go for a goalkeeper. Let's see how it goes, guys. Man United, as I said, will review avenues to signing him next season if it doesn't happen this summer. But I do believe it will end up a Man United player. Let's wait and see. Let's go for the keeper now. Lamens, absolutely. Let's see what we can do, guys. Let's go for a goalkeeper. Let's see what happens. But Ornstein has spoke, guys. He's saying that the deal is impossible for Man United to do at the moment. So we're looking at that. And obviously, that is disappointing. Obviously, football, Brighton are digging their heels in. They're putting an astronomical fee on his head, of course, guys. And that is the biggest problem, of course, guys. So, yeah, another one bites the dust if that is true. And this is exactly what we're talking about, exactly how we are in regards to Ineos and things like that, guys. It is a big issue. Like I've always said, the club should have been sold. The club should have been sold, Jamie. The club should have been sold. Anyone who wants Ineos in charge absolutely don't have the best interest of the club at heart. They don't. This is what I say at the end of the day, and I will stick to that. You know, I had people last week, talking about, Sal, are you going to admit that you were wrong about Jim Ratcliffe? And I'm like, what am I wrong about? What am I wrong about? What am I wrong about Jim Ratcliffe? How am I wrong about Jim Ratcliffe? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But there we are, guys. Yeah, look, that is coming from Ornstein. We're going to have to wait and see. There's still 2 weeks to go. Nothing is set in stone at the end of the day, guys. So Ineos are basically, they don't want to pay the money. Basically, they don't want to pay the money. This is what's going on right this moment, guys. Right this moment, they don't want to pay the money, of course, guys, which is a shame. Because obviously we hoped that they will. We thought that they were going to go absolute ham this window. We thought they were going to go absolutely mad this window, guys. Unfortunately, guys, they have not so far. There is only 3 signings so far, guys. There is only 3 signings so far. They have not gone ham. They have not gone mad this window, guys. Absolutely far from it. 3 signings not enough. Revised lineup for Sunday. I gave it, I think it's the revised lineup. I've done it yesterday, Grayo. I've deleted it now. Sorry, bruv. I've deleted it now. I put the lineup yesterday in the match preview show, Grayo. Yesterday was the match preview, mate. I've done that already. Yeah. So, yeah, look, guys, it's going to be Onana. It's going to be, my team was Onana, De Ligt, Yoro. Who else was it? I think it was Mazraoui, but it's not going to be Mazraoui, is it, at the end of the day? I think it'll be Luke Shaw, De Ligt, and Yoro in defence. I think it'll be left wing back will be Dorgu. Right wing back will be Ahmad. It will be Ugarte and Bruno in midfield, and then Mbeumo and Cunha as the number 10s with Sesko up front. That was my team. Confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, Manchester United make official and formal contact with Baleba as expected. That's just come now, guys. Let's read this out. Guys, really quickly, guys. Let's go. Right. In regards to Mr. Fabrizio Romano, clear answer from Brighton and Hove Albion. No intention to sell, not even indicating a price for this summer. Man United expected to turn attention to different targets, guys. Man United set to turn the attention to different targets. That is coming from Fabrizio Romano. Another one bites the dust. Another generational player, gonna be gone, guys. Not gonna be at Man United next season by the looks of things at the moment. Reported by Ornstein, reported by Fabrizio Romano. Absolutely. Guys. Yeah, I watched the video show. I was thinking about Mazraoui replacement, brother. Oh, yeah, I think what we're going to do, Grayo, is we're going to play Luke Shaw as a left-sided centre-back. We're going to play De Ligt as a centre-back. We're going to play Yoro as a right centre-back instead of Mazraoui. However, it could be Yoro as a left-sided centre-back. It could be Maguire as a centre-back and De Ligt as a right centre-back. It could be that as well. Well, at least the club tried. Goodness me. Not hard enough, obviously. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Ineos are not backing Amorim. It's a disgrace. Absolutely. Guys, it is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. You know what? He was always going to be expensive, guys, and they haven't done it, guys. They haven't done it. Ineos bottled it. Right. What I would say in regards to that, guys, go and get Adam Walton. That's what I would say, guys. Go and get Adam Walton. This is a failure. It is a failure. Unless Man United can do some kind of deal for Adam Walton. It's late, though, isn't it? Get out of my club. Absolutely, Jamie. It's a disgrace, guys. Absolutely. It's a disgrace, I would say, that we haven't done the deal. It is a disgrace, in my humblest of opinion, guys. Sad, isn't it, that we're going to miss out on another player? You know, I thought this was supposed to be a rebuild. You know, at the end of the day, it's definitely not a rebuild, guys. This is disgrace. It's a disgrace. You know what they've done, having charge of this football club. Neil, Low, if you ain't gonna buy a Baleba, you know, I think that Wharton's got a release clause, Neil Gunner, if I'm not wrong, 70 million, I think it is. If I'm not wrong, I might be wrong, but I think he's got a release clause. But Man United not getting Baleba is a problem. Man United have got a Polo FC in that midfield, Bagel FC in that midfield. Sad, isn't it? Absolutely. They need to leave now, Ineos. Absolutely, mate. They do. Ineos out all day long, guys. Glazers out. I've said it from the beginning. I don't believe in them. I don't believe they have the money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And just move on. They have to move on. But who are they going to move on to? And this is when I was talking about a contingency plan. Where is this contingency plan? What is going on? Millie, didn't Fabrizio said that Baleba didn't even give a price, so that how could we get him? Didn't Fabrizio say Brighton not selling, so how could we get it? But then Ornstein said that the price was deemed too high. You know what I mean? You say potato, I say potato. Potato. Absolutely. The Scott in Terrace. What's going on, my friend? You want to know, Sarge Crystal Palace would want Baleba figures too. They have European. They have the Conference League. That doesn't really mean anything, does it? As if the club don't get laughed at as it is. Look, at the end of the day, what are Man United going to do, guys? Man United have to dream on. We have to dream on, guys. I told you guys about Ineos, and well, we are getting two different stories. Absolutely, Millie. Two different stories. They're not really clarified, of course, guys. I would say go and get Adam Wharton. That's what I say, but it's easy to say. Who else can we get? Kamara of Monaco, great player. Go and get him. You know, player like that, good player, cheaper, of course. You know, Yavi Guerra was obviously being linked to Man United as well. Another player there that Man United could quite get, of course. Don't want jack shit from them. They can piss off. Big up, Jamie. Big up, Jamie. I know you're upset, brother. I know you're upset. I think we all are in regards to this. Look, the two most important teams, player positions in the pitch, we have not fixed. We have not fixed. That is what I would say. That's what I would say. But we'll have to wait and see, guys. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see what happens. Millie, believe Brighton are willing to sell now, so let's go with someone else. In my opinion, we tried. No one thought that we would have the balls to go for Baleba, in my opinion. We should have with Man United, Millie. They're Brighton and Hove Albion. When I was a young kid, Brighton and Hove Albion in the third division. You know, they should be having the balls, really, but we're Man United. If they haven't got the balls, they shouldn't be at Man United, Millie. If I'm Man United, I'd be doing the structure for next season for Baleba. Here's us signing Hoyman now. Bloody hell, can you imagine that? Hoyman is overrated, mate. I say this right now with chest out. Hoyland is overrated, guys. Absolutely. Sold a light, big up. Donnarumma. Still available. He's going to Man City, I think. A lot of money for Donnarumma at the moment, guys. Millie, let's get behind the team. Absolutely, we will, and hope that we will get a good CDM and a keeper. Let's fingers crossed, Millie. Absolutely, we'll still get behind the team, of course. Jay, just get Fiorentina Louise. It's not that hard. Big up, Jay. Good point. Jamie, they saving money for the new stadium. Get them out. Absolutely, mate. Get them out. This is what we have to say, guys. At the end of the day, what I would say is this, right? We have to move on. We have to have a contingency plan. If Man United don't have a contingency plan, then we know where we are with Ineos. We know what's going on with Ineos. And simply, they're just out of their depth. Terence. Big up, Terence. Scott in Terence. Big up. I'd be trying to sign for Edison and Lamens from that 100 million we would have used. Good points, the Scott Terence. There's a few midfielders out there, the Scott Terence, my friend. There is a few midfielders out there which we could possibly go for. My biggest concern is are Man United prepared to go for a contingency plan? Do they have a plan? You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Sal, you are 100% correct regarding Ineos and Baleba. Thank you so much, Grayo. You know what? At the end of the day, I've been speaking about Ineos. I told people don't blow smoke up Ineos backside, because if this was Qatar, they would have done the deal, guys. They would have done the deal. They would have said that, you know what? How much is it going to take to sign Baleba? 120 million. There's the cash. That's what would have happened. You know, with Ineos, they're like, oh, no, it'll go. You know, oh, gold, it's too expensive. Oh, my God, it's too expensive. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Neil, big up Neil, by the way. Do you think this is a PR move? Because watch the football YouTube world. What do you mean a PR move in regards to Baleba? In regards to he's overrated, or do you mean that in regards to the news that's circulating today, Neil? What do you mean, my bro? What do you mean, Natty? So we always neglect position every summer. That is the biggest problem. Absolutely. If we neglect the midfield again, it's an absolute disgrace. The biggest problem, guys, is an absolute disgrace. If we neglect the midfield again, it would be. Guys. At the end of the day, it's disappointing. We have to move on in regards to it. But you know what? There is going to be news. There is going to be transfer news. There's going to be news circulating all the time. So let's wait and see what happens. United, a player, if Qatar was here, he's a United player. I mean, this is what someone told me. Someone told me this yesterday. How do you think the window would have gone if Man United had Qatar? A lot better than now. That is what it would have had. A lot better than now. It would have been an absolutely incredible window if Man United were here. Let me tell you that right now. No debt. Glazers out. We'd be killing the FFP and PSR. We're splashing money left, right, and centre. At the end of the day, 3 players is not enough. They got until the 1st of September, Jamie, everyone in the stream. They got until the 1st of September. Let's see what the plan is. Let's see who they bring in. Look, I'm not going to completely jump and say, you know what, this, that, effing blinding this, because I don't want to give myself blood pressure, to be fair. But you know what I would say? Let's see until the 1st of September. It's all on them now. All eyes are on Ineos. Neil, as in the whole move for Baleba, because the opinion to get a Baleba was big talking point in YouTube. Well, these clubs would everyone content. What I would say and what I've heard, Neil, is that Man United is seriously interested in Baleba and have been interested in Baleba for many weeks. The fact that it's been a lot of stories, some of it was fabricated, of course, a lot of news going around, lies as well. Of course there is. And there always is opportunists and vultures when it comes to this type of news, especially on content creation, guys. Absolutely. So what I would say is that we'll wait and see what happens. There's still a long way in this window. And he would have revolutionized our midfield, as Jamie said. But obviously, Man United are not that desperate to fix that midfield, are not that desperate to fix the football team. They're not that desperate to fix Man United. At the moment, we got 3 players. And I want to see more. Yeah, I want to see more. I want to see more players, guys. Players have to step up next season. Midfield have to step up next season. Because we got Bagel FC at the moment, guys. That's what we got. Bagel FC. But it is what it is, guys. Big up, Scott. Let's relax. We just signed Cunha, Sesko, and Bumo, who would have bought in. We signed them. End of the season. MU overreacting as usual. No, Terence. What I'll say, Terence, it's not overreaction at all. No one's overreacting here. They got until the 1st of September. If they do not sign another player to the 1st of September, then it's not been good enough window. We have to face reality here. To be successful in life, the Scott A. Terence, I don't know you, but to be successful in life, you have to be ruthless. You have to take accountability. You have to realize what you've done is right, what you've done is wrong. I would give praise where praise is due. I would give them all the praise in the world for signing Mbumo, Sesko, and Cunha, as I did, as many people remember. But if someone told me at the end of last season that we were signing Mbumo, Cunha, and Sesko, I'd be like, great, yes, brilliant. What about the midfield and goalkeeper? What about the wing back? I would be like that at the end of the day, So one thing I would say, guys, and I think Neil mentioned it here. Big up, Neil. This would have been changing point Kobe Mainu would have been the biggest thing them to be together. Bloody hell. Even Arsenal fans are saying it. He's worth the money. He's worth the money at the end of the day. Even Arsenal fans were saying it. He's worth the money. But we have to move on, guys. What can I say? Look, if I'm going to agree with anything about what my friend Scott A. Terence said, is that we have to move on. Let's forget it. Let's wait until the 1st of September and let's analyze then. Let's revisit this on the 1st of September. Let's wait and see, guys. The deal is off, according to Fabrizio Romano and Ornstein. Too big in the game. They're going to obviously move on from that. This disappointing, of course, very disappointing. Probably disappointing for Baleba. Baleba, what can Baleba do? Baleba has to act like, you know what, he don't mind and stuff like that. It's all right. He wouldn't have moved anyway, blah, blah, blah. He's going to have to act like that because he has to play football. But guys, I don't want to be looking at this transfer in a couple of weeks, in a few weeks' time, and think if only we had Baleba, that midfield is dreadful, But let's wait and see. It's not all doom and gloom, okay? So what I would say, guys, as a fan of 40 years, by the way, I don't need to be told when to react or not react or overreact. I will spit the gospel whenever it is good and bad on this channel, as we've done together for a year. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Let us just digest this news and let's move on to the next. And that's what we say. We've got Arsenal on Sunday. That's most important, guys. And let's hope we can defeat Arsenal, of course. Have a great night, great evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox. And I will be back tomorrow to later on, guys, for the Liverpool versus Bournemouth Premier League game. First Premier League game of the season, guys. Try and join me for that one where we can, you know what, have a little bit of therapy on that, guys. Hopefully Bournemouth do us a favour. You never know, of course, guys. Absolutely. Have a great night. I'll see you later, hopefully, for the watch along. I'll be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn as usual, guys. Enjoy yourself. Don't worry too much. And I'll see you soon. Take it easy, guys. Peace.